Hello, welcome. I'm so glad to be doing another video, and it hasn't been like months, so that's something new. It's a little windy, and I think I'm gonna have some trouble possibly with the wind interfering with the sound, so hopefully this doesn't sound too unintelligible. But I just have some ideas that I want to remember personally. For me, since I'm going through kind of a difficult time right now, and I know a lot of other people are struggling as well. So I thought, oh heck, why don't I share some of my discoveries with my friends, and maybe some of them will find it useful and helpful. So here is what works for me. I think routine or having certain rituals that you do every day is incredibly powerful and helpful and nurturing when it comes to maintaining your sanity and your mental health and your capacity, your energy to act and to do more things. Whether it's making sure that you make yourself something to eat every morning when you wake up, and that you drink some water, or if you make yourself a smoothie, whatever it is that nurtures you and gets you energized and ready for the day, like dedicate that time to yourself. And then check in with yourself. Allow yourself to see how you're feeling. If you are able to rest, and you can rest if you need it, then allow that for yourself. If you really need to move your body and get outside, then get outside and take a walk. Have a little dance party with yourself. Do some strength training or some yoga, whatever gets your gears going in the right way. And then, if you share space with others, if you have kids or partners or friends or anybody that you can check in and connect with, allow yourself to check in with them and allow yourself to express love and affection for them, and also to receive it for yourself. I think that's something you can do regularly every day, whether you live with people or not. I think it's very important to reach out to others just to kind of get a reflection of where we are personally and what we're going through, what's on our mind, what bees are in our bonnet, so to speak. And also to offer that same support and mirror that same support for others, to see how others are doing. I think connecting with other people and seeing where they're at and what's going on with them is also a really good way to get out of our own head and to stop taking everything so much on our own shoulders, and realize that we don't have all the problems in the world. Other people have problems too, and we don't have to only worry about ourselves and only be concerned with ourselves and what we're going through. We can allow ourselves to see that somebody else is going through something, and we can offer support. We can, even if it's just listening and just being there. I think that's very powerful, especially if you do it every day. Something really small but also really powerful that you can do for yourself is, if you're into the spiritual accord, or even just as a lifestyle thing, if you're into incense, if you're into candles, if you're into soothing music playing in the background, or meditation beats or something like that, allow yourself to indulge in that and make space for it every day, so that you have your time to kind of meditate with the incense, or experience the water from the shower or from the bath, or watching the candle as it burns, or sitting in nature and allowing yourself to kind of connect with nature. Like whatever it is that you do that feels good on a spiritual level, allow yourself time every day to do something. It doesn't have to be very elaborate. It doesn't have to be a long planned out thing. It can just be like 5 minutes. But it's incredibly powerful for me to have that space. And then remember to sleep. Remember to go to sleep, a reasonable time, whatever that is for you. Allow yourself to rest. Allow yourself to be rejuvenated. I think, the basics, sleeping, hydrating yourself, feeding yourself, these are things that we can often take for granted, but they're integral, they're pivotal to functional mental health and functional relationships. So make sure that you are taking time to do that every day, that is part of your routine. And then have things that you look forward to every day. Allow yourself to have something that you enjoy every day. So don't make everything about just like how much you can get done and how much you can accomplish and how much you can, better yourself. Like I know in the spiritual and personal development community, there's always someone else to learn from. There's always another resource to imbibe. There's always something else to learn and something else to study and something else to practice for yourself. But allow yourself to kind of disengage from that like always fixing, always doing, always moving mindset, and just have something that is fun, that you like, whether it's playing music or listening to music or playing a game or enjoying time with friends or connecting with family or something. Do something that is really just fun for you. It's great if you have something that you can do by yourself, because I think a lot of times the social energy of doing things with other people can be very addictive, and it can be very suppressive and repressive in ways that we don't always realize, and it can be very easy to just go and talk to others and not realize and not check in with ourselves and realize we're not actually doing that great. And allowing yourself to enjoy something and have a passion and have something that you're just like, even if it's just a hobby, just something that's fun for you, having time to dedicate to that every day really gives you a clear moment to check in with yourself and see, like, do I feel like having fun? Do I feel like enjoying myself? And if I don't, what's going on there? Like, why don't I feel like I deserve to have fun? Why don't I feel like I deserve to have 5 minutes or 15 minutes to myself just to do what it is that I like and that I want to do just for me? And that can be a big hint into our mental health and how we're doing and how we're processing everything. Another segment of ideas that I have is remembering your passion, and this kind of goes along with making time for yourself and having something that you look forward to. But really allow yourself to engage with yourself and figure out like what it is that brings you the most joy, what it is that makes you feel like a sense of purpose and a sense of connection with others, like you're really in service to the world. But also it's very fulfilling for yourself. It feels like you're really utilizing your skills and you're everything, everything that you are, everything that you have to offer. And if you're not feeling like say your passion is music and writing music and playing music, and if that's something like you just don't feel like it, you're just not feeling good enough to do that, you can also be passionate about caring for yourself and upkeeping your mental health. It doesn't have to be one or the other. You don't have to disregard mental health to have passions, to have a creative life. produce and create things that are meaningful to you. You can absolutely have multiple passions, have multiple things that you're passionate about, and protecting yourself and your boundaries and your mental health and having reasonable expectations for yourself and others can definitely be something that you are also passionate about. So if you don't necessarily feel like engaging with music or art or whatever it is that you're primarily devoted to, dedicate that time instead to yourself. Listen to yourself, really feel your feelings, really work through whatever emotional stuff you're going through, whatever spiritual stuff or psychological stuff you're going through. Let yourself be curious about, what's going on. If you had a friend that was in a similar situation and they were saying some of the things that you were saying to yourself or feeling about yourself, how would you respond to that friend? How would you tell them to feel better? How would you think, if somebody else was going through this, what do you think would be helpful for them? And allow yourself to drink that medicine yourself. I think that, being passionate, it doesn't have to be something that is making you money. It doesn't have to be something that is that makes sense to other people. It doesn't have to be something that is productive, is creative. I mean, that's, whatever you produce, whatever you create, that's usually, that's the fruit of the passion. But sometimes that takes a really long time to manifest. It's not always going to be constant. Some things take a really long time to manifest. And if you're not dedicating time every single day, or at least, every single week or something regularly to allowing yourself to be passionate, then you're not going to see the fruits of that labor as regularly. You're not going to feel like it's productive. But just allowing yourself the space to nurture those seeds and water them and give them light and let them grow is really helpful for not losing yourself in the fray of things. Sorry that the camera keeps moving. I don't. It's too windy for me to use my hands properly sometimes. Another way to nurture yourself when you're going through something difficult is to reach out for support. Therapists are great. I love therapists. I think they're fantastic. I use them. And friends are also great. Family's also great. You can also comment, anonymously if you need support and you want neutral perspectives and you don't really want to out yourself if you're going through something sensitive. There are lots of places you can comment anonymously and ask for support and advice. And telling your story, whether it's to a therapist or to a friend or a family member, allowing yourself to tell your story allows you also to hear it from yourself, and you will catch things a lot of times that you are saying or feeling or thinking that you don't always catch when they're in your head. These thoughts are kind of liminal, when we're in our own head and we're just thinking these thoughts to ourselves. We're not always going to notice the more subtle underlying concepts that are kind of holding the weight of our beliefs. But when you talk to another person, you often go into things that you wouldn't necessarily think to go into with yourself. And that can allow you to have a greater understanding of the depth of the situation, a better perspective. Also, that thing about getting out of your own head and listening to somebody else and helping somebody else. When you tell your story, you also open yourself up. If you're available, if you would like to do that, it's good to listen to others and find out what they're going through and figure out what's going on with them and also be supportive for them. That can grow our resilience. It can grow our strength. by being able to listen to somebody else and support them, we become stronger. Our ability, our capacity to hold emotions for ourselves and for others becomes bigger and greater. And I think that it nurtures the bond, obviously, that you have with that person, and builds trust. And that also builds trust with yourself, because if you're able to have a healthy, communicative, open relationship with somebody else and you care about them, you're going to trust yourself more. You're going to be able to tell yourself, no, I'm healthy, I'm happy, I have friends, I have people that care about me, I have people that love me. I'm able to reach out and talk to people. I'm able to get support when I need it. I'm able to talk about what I'm going through. I'm able to listen to what other people are going through and support them as well. And that's very helpful when you're going through a difficult time, because whether you are dealing with just your own thoughts and your own sort of dark night of the soul, as it were, or if you're with in a difficult, working situation or living situation, and you might have somebody that is telling you things that are not necessarily true, but when we're isolated and we're on our own and we don't have other people to talk to, it can be very easy to believe the hurtful things that people will say to us and about us. So allowing yourself to talk to other people and share what you're going through and support them also allows you to see more clearly what's right, what's helpful, what's not helpful. And the next section of support that I have for when you're going through something difficult and how to nurture yourself during that time is to check in with spirit, or the divine, whatever system you work with. Whether you're, connecting with nature, or you're meditating, or you're praying, or you're having like rituals like cleansing yourself, or cleansing, your belongings or your space of some sort, or, sacred dance, sacred movement. There's all sorts of ways that people, connect with themselves. And I'd love to make another video just about this at some point. But I think giving yourself time, especially when you're going through something difficult, to have those experiences and to connect with what you feel like connects you with everything else, with everyone else, is really powerful. The next little section of advice that I have is to take action. So obviously there's things you can do as far as donating to causes that you support. If there are things that are going on that are troubling to you, Black Lives Matter is a huge thing that's on a lot of our hearts and minds lately. And there's tons of organizations to donate to if that's something you're passionate about, and I will leave some links and resources for that down below. There's also free ways to contribute. Obviously you can share information, you can share resources, you can sign petitions, you can make phone calls, you can write letters, you can advocate, you can protest, you can be out there in the thick of it. That's obviously a big way to take action. But you can also hold space for other people. You can also support people who are doing that, whether it's financial or whether you're just listening to them and just supporting them and letting them know that you're here and you're available. Just for yourself, moving your body, moving differently, doing things differently. If you always get up, excuse me, and do the same thing in the same way at the same time every day, and you're feeling like you're in a rut or you're going through something difficult, allow yourself to shake it up and change the routine. Allow yourself to do something differently. If you always get a shower in the morning, get a shower at night. If you always drink a cup of coffee before you make your breakfast, drink your water and a smoothie or a breakfast before you have your coffee. Do something differently. If you always feed your cat before you drink your water, drink your water first and then feed your cat. It sounds really silly, but if you're having trouble focusing and you're having trouble maintaining the routine that you have, it could be because something is not working. It sounds kind of silly, but it really does cause your brain to look at things differently. When you start changing up very ingrained, set in stone habits, you're actually changing the neural pathways in your brain. And so when you start doing things consistently, differently, you allow yourself to kind of see things outside the neural box, as it were, and you can see more opportunities, more chances for things, more opportunities for change that weren't necessarily there before. Let's see. If you are in a difficult situation and you're going to have to move, if you have the funds, and it's difficult, go ahead and take the plunge. If you need to put aside funds to make a move or to take a little vacation or get away for a while to get some space, put aside the funds, make the plans, put a plan in action and start taking little steps every day to manifest that change. It doesn't have to happen overnight, but doing something for yourself every day in that regard can make a big difference in your mental health. If you're dealing with a difficult situation at work or at home, or in any regard, spiritually, whatever your space that you occupy is, allow yourself to have the difficult conversations that you need to have. Really take time to meditate and reflect on what the problem is, think about what the problem is, and have it crystal clear in your mind, and ask for support if you need support, if you need a neutral third party to hold space for you while you have this discussion. If you need friend support, if you need other coworkers or parishioners, whoever you're involved with, to support you while you address whatever matter is on your heart. Taking the action, taking the steps, having the difficult conversation, it can be very painful. It can lead to results that we don't like. We can have more problems to deal with, but you're moving things around. And when you're moving things around, it's like crossing muddy waters, murky waters. Of course, things are going to look muddy, and things are going to be dirty, and things are going to be difficult, and you might step on a few rocks or snakes on the way across. But you have to do that to get to the other side. You have to do that to keep moving forward. If you stay stuck in the mud, nothing's going to change. Everything's going to continue to feel isolating. You're going to continue to feel trapped and feel like you're powerless. So have the difficult conversations. Get the support that you need, and do what you need to do to make that change. That's a big way to take action and support yourself. The other thing that I have here is start a new practice. So taking action doesn't have to be something massive and expensive and major and confrontational. It could be something as simple as, starting a new prayer practice every morning, or a meditation practice every morning, or, having time to yourself to walk every day, or, connecting with a friend every day or every week to kind of see where you're at and share what you're going through in your progress, and kind of hold each other accountable. And also support each other and validate each other emotionally. I think that's very important too. And all of these things can be part of a new practice, writing in a journal, changing your diet, your lifestyle, whatever. This is all super, super awesome ways to support yourself. And this is really, I apologize for the kind of cut and dry boop, 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 boop nature of the video. It's a little rambly in some parts, but that's really about all I have for now. And hopefully I will have something a little bit more in-depth and abstract to reflect upon with you guys soon. But for now, I hope this is helpful, and I hope everybody is doing okay. And like I said, I'll leave those links below for anybody that wants to support or look for, resources for support for the Black Lives Matter movement. I think that's very important, and it's very important to me. So, yeah, everybody stay safe, take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.